Well, this year's Super Bowl, one for the ages, decided by defense after offense ruled the day. After more than 1,000 total yards of offense, it was defense deciding it. The Eagles, preserving a lead late, got a strip sack on Tom Brady, added a field goal, and survived a Hail Mary. Tom Brady denied a 6th Super Bowl ring in his 8th Super Bowl appearance. If I were to tell you Tom Brady throws for a Super Bowl record 500 yards and the Patriots score more than 30 points, you would have thought game over. New England wins, ring number 6. But instead, the Eagles come out on top as they outscore the Patriots. Former Packers backup Doug Peterson was uber aggressive as a play caller, 2 for 2 on 4th downs, and no play was bigger than the one before the half. A 4th and goal from the one in which Peterson called up a trick play for the ages. Direct snap to the former Badger Corey Clement, who tossed it on a pitch back to the tight end, who threw a forward pass for a touchdown to the quarterback, Nick Foles, the MVP of the game, and the Eagles win their first Super Bowl ever. In a game that featured only one punt, the Philly offense was no doubt needed, but their defense had to deliver late too. After Tom Brady had marched the ball up and down the field in the second half, they got their stop and got a takeaway late. A strip sack of Tom Brady that helped preserve the win. Then they had to hold on through a Hail Mary as well. The Eagles' defense delivered when it mattered, but this game was all about offense. The teams combined for more than 1,000 yards of offense, the most offense in any Super Bowl ever. At Super Bowl 52, Dave Schroeder, Action 2 Sports. Peterson's esteem in the league has gone through the roof. He was well regarded before this playoff push for what he's done working with Carson Wentz. But with Nick Foles at the controls, no one really expected this outburst of offense from him in the NFC title game and Super Bowl. But he got it done, staying aggressive, showing his real quarterback whisperer. The Badger backs put on a show. James White scored a touchdown in the first half, and Corey Clement made sure he got one too in the second half on an amazing grab near the back of the end zone. Patriots fans may not like the call of a catch, but he had a heck of a game, did Clement. 100 receiving yards as he helped Philly win its first Super Bowl. We have arrived at the Super Bowl, and coverage on Action 2 News starts at 10 o'clock with coverage of opening night. The Packers may not be here on the Super Bowl stage, but a player who started his season in Green Bay sure is. Defensive lineman Ricky Jean-Francois, cut twice by the Packers, picked up by the Patriots, and the rest is history. He's having a heck of a season and enjoying the ride. There's plenty more Wisconsin news to be had, from former Badgers to a former Packer who's now coaching the Eagles. Our coverage from the Super Bowl in Minneapolis continues all week. In Minneapolis, Dave Schroeder, Action 2 Sports. All the talk this week about Tom Brady and his 5 rings, seeking a 6th, but we all know that the former Badger Pack James White should have been the MVP of last year's Super Bowl. He caught a Super Bowl record 14 passes. He scored a Super Bowl record 20 points. Yes, 3 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. And oh, by the way, White scored the first overtime game winner in Super Bowl history. It was a heck of a game. Badger fans have a horse in the race on the other side of this contest, too. There's Corey Clement and Bo Allen on the Eagles side. We'll talk to them and have reports on Wednesday as Super Bowl coverage continues from Minneapolis. At Super Bowl 52, Dave Schroeder, Action 2 Sports. It's been exactly 20 years since Doug Peterson was last on the Super Bowl stage, backing up Brett Favre. Back then, he had little inkling that one day he would be in Mike Holmgren's shoes, head coaching a team in the big game. But what exactly did he learn from that experience in the 90s? We're here at the Super Bowl with the MMQB's Albert Breer. Albert, the Packers are not here. They haven't been here in quite some time. When you look at the shakeups they've had in the offseason, the new GM, the new defensive coordinator, do you think those are things that were necessary to try to make it happen? For years, there have been calls for the Packers to get more aggressive as it pertains to player acquisition. And for proof that that works, look no further than the 2 participants in this year's Super Bowl. Every player who has scored a point for the Eagles in the playoffs was not on the roster last year and was brought in during the offseason. And on the Patriots side of things, Bill Belichick is constantly churning the roster, looking at the waiver wire, making trades, picking guys up. James Harrison and the former Packer Ricky Jean-Francois, players picked up mid-season that helped his team reach the Super Bowl. If you're looking for a Super Bowl fun fact to be the smartest guy or girl at your Super Bowl party Sunday, how about this? The longest pick 6 in Super Bowl history, 100 yards, by who else? James Harrison, the guy picked up mid-season by the Patriots. At Super Bowl 52, Dave Schroeder, Action 2 Sports. You want to show off that ring, first of all?
Well, it's just special. You know, I got it in Green Bay. I like it.
So a certain guy by the name of Brian Gutekunst was a scouting intern back in 1997. What do you remember of him then, and what do you think he'll be like as a GM for the Packers?
You know, in 1997,
Peterson is looking to become just the 33rd head coach to win a Super Bowl. On the other side, Bill Belichick, as an assistant or head coach, is now coaching in his 11th. There are 13 teams in the National Football League that have never won a Super Bowl. Philly, of course, one of those. At Super Bowl 52, Dave Schroeder, Action 2 Sports. Here at the Super Bowl, the Patriots are heavily favored and the Eagles are the underdog. But did you know the Patriots, in their 7 previous Super Bowls with Brady and Belichick, have never played in a game decided by more than 6 points? In fact, the only one decided by more than 4 was last year's overtime win by 6. At Super Bowl 52, Dave Schroeder, Action 2 Sports. Here at the Super Bowl, we are here with Pro Bowler Mike Daniels. What was that experience like? Mike, I haven't seen you in, about a month? A lot's changed. A lot's changed. What do you think of Mike Pettin?
I love him. I absolutely love him.
Corey, how's it feel to have that Super Bowl patch on, wear this jersey a little bit, look forward to the game?
It feels great. It's definitely, we had to earn this patch right here.
Badger backs are the best backs in the biz. The Eagles have Corey Clement and the Patriots have James White going head-to-head to earn a Super Bowl ring. Well, Aaron Rodgers made it to the Super Bowl anyway, but without a game to play Sunday, the quarterback had a lot on his mind, and he spoke his mind as it pertained to the Packers' offseason changes. Rodgers' collarbone is now fully healed. How's he know? He was able to grip it and rip it on the golf course in Phoenix yesterday. Just a little bit different weather than it is here in Minneapolis. At Super Bowl 52, Dave Schroeder, Action 2 Sports. Packers Pro Bowl defensive lineman Mike Daniels has never played in a Super Bowl, but he's itching to do so, and he firmly believes the hire of new defensive coordinator Mike Pettin will help get that job done. Everyone expects Aaron Rodgers to get a new contract extension soon, probably this offseason, and with Alex Smith's trade and subsequent big bucks contract extension, Rodgers now slides to 7th place on the highest paid quarterback list. If Rodgers gets an extension to jump from $22 million a year above Matthew Stafford's $27 million per season that currently sets the bar, it would be justified. But just because you have the best quarterback and pay him the most amount of money doesn't guarantee you titles. As far as the quarterbacks and their pay in the big game at the Super Bowl here, Tom Brady, the 14th highest paid quarterback in terms of average salary. He's often restructured his deal and even taken less money to help his team stay competitive. And Nick Foles making just $5.5 million per season, and the Eagles starter Carson Wentz just $6.5. So at the Super Bowl, winners wear white. 12 of the last 13 champions wore white jerseys on game day. As you can see behind me, the plan was for the Patriots to be the home team and wear blue, but as the home team, New England opted to wear white. Some higher-ups in the organization maybe sense this trend. The Packers are actually the only team in the last 13 years to win a Super Bowl wearing colored jerseys. As for the players on the Patriots roster, they didn't even know the choice was made. And Mr. White, the Badger James White, he's just wearing a jersey that fits his name and hopefully gets it done. Another weird Super Bowl note, with Tom Brady expected to be named MVP at this weekend's NFL Honors. No MVP has won a Super Bowl that same season since Kurt Warner in 1999. At Super Bowl 52, Dave Schroeder, Action 2 Sports. Sometimes it's good to be aggressive, but will the Packers' new general manager, Brian Gutekunst, pull the trigger more in free agency and with trades than Ted Thompson? If you look at the teams in the Super Bowl, and we've broken it down this week, they've made a lot of moves outside the draft. The Packers maybe need to get on that level. No huge holes, but there are talent gaps that need to be bridged if Green Bay wants to be able to withstand the injuries that are bound to happen and still be Super Bowl bound at the end of the year. At Super Bowl 52, Dave Schroeder, Action 2 Sports. Here at the Super Bowl, I've asked plenty of people about Mike McCarthy's comments at the end of the year that he needs his defense to be better than the offense. It sounds counterintuitive with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, but the last time the Packers won a Super Bowl, the defensive unit was ranked higher than the offensive unit. And when Brett Favre won a Super Bowl in Green Bay, the same was true. What gives? All that said, ESPN's Sal Paolantonio proceeded to tell me he thinks if Aaron Rodgers is healthy, none of it matters. The Packers at least make the NFC Championship game. But it's not about conference title game appearances, it's about Super Bowl wins. At Super Bowl 52, Dave Schroeder, Action 2 Sports. Wrapping up a great week at Super Bowl 52, Dave Schroeder, Action 2 Sports.